Hi AquaFit friends, this is Coach Stacy coming to you from my home pool. Today I'm super excited to share with you that my husband and I installed a new heat pump to extend our pool season. Behind me you can see my pool. It's about 15,000 gallons, so that's why we chose the HEX075 heat pump that goes up to about 21,000 gallons for efficiency. So if you have a pool that big, it's about the size of my pool, this video is for you. Today I'm going to show you the unboxing, what comes inside of the box, our installation setup, and the operation of the unit. Come along with me as you go behind the scenes and see how we installed the heat pump.
Delivery was very easy. The heat pump arrived well packaged and protected. To open the carton, my husband just sliced a few inches up from the bottom all the way around the box, and then we just lifted the top of the box off. That way we didn't have to turn it to its side. When we did pick it up, we had two people picking it up because it is rather heavy.
My husband and I installed it all by ourselves, so any person who has a little basic understanding of plumbing and maybe a little bit more understanding of electric can do it all on their own, or you can find a professional to help you get it installed.
First, you'll want to make sure that all the contents are included in the package. If any items are missing or damaged, contact the customer support team at AquaStrong. They'd be happy to help you out. Next, you're going to want to gather all the items you need for your installation. Depending on your situation, you may not need the electric, but we had to do both electric and plumbing. If you're unfamiliar with either, please seek out a professional help. For the HEX075 model, we needed to do a hard wire, so we had to run electric. For some of the smaller models, they have a plug-in option, so that makes life a little easier. Your unit should be placed upon a stable, level surface of a foundation. Ideally, you're going to elevate the unit and allow space for adequate drainage. Keep at least 20 inches of free space on all sides and the back of the unit for airflow. And you're going to want to ensure that there's nothing in front of the heat pump with about 59 inches of space there. Connect the condensate pipe to the bottom drain hole. It's located underneath, and this is going to help to drain that water that will naturally accumulate during the heating process. And don't forget to install those rubber feet to help minimize noise and vibrations. For plumbing, you're going to want to lay out and measure all your PVC, then cut and then glue it all together. I'm going to add some bypass valves like we have shown here. Note that a bypass system is not necessary if you have an above-ground pool. When you're ready to assemble, you're going to apply primer to the inside of the fitting and the outside of the pipe. Apply cement to both of those areas and then immediately fit the pieces together. Twist them somewhat so that way the glue will spread evenly, and you're going to want to hold it there for 30 seconds. We required PVC for our system since we have a larger pump and we have a 2-inch PVC. On a smaller system, you can use flexible hosing. Now here's how we worked it. We would have the inlet on the bottom, the water coming in from the pool. It goes through the heat pump and then it comes out on the top through that red arrow. That would be the warm water going out. To ensure the heat pump operates safely and efficiently, we needed a 30 amp breaker and 220 volt power. We also had to purchase a flex conduit that will go from your disconnect box to the heat pump. We opted for a 6-foot run. Always disconnect the power before starting any work on the pump to ensure your safety. Here's my husband installing the conduit into the disconnect box. Next, remove the panel from the side of the heat pump. Use a screwdriver to gain access into it. Once you take the panel cover off, secure the electric to the unit using those 3 wires there, red, black, and the green ground wire. Use the diagram. The L1 and L2 are live, and then the third one is the ground, so pay attention specifically to the diagrams. Follow that diagram to connect the power supply cable and ensure it's secure. Then cover it up and make sure it's tight fitting. Make sure all your cables are secured, your box is mounted to the wall, your breaker is installed. Close everything up, and we also want to make sure we have a ground wire installed. I'm happy to say our heat pump is fully installed, and we're going to get ready to turn on our unit. Turn on your pool pump to get the pool started, then open the valves and purge the air from the system. Now, if your heat pump is connected to a filtration unit like mine is, you're going to need to use that bypass valve. And AquaStrong suggests that you open it to about 50% and then adjust it downward to get the lowest flow rate into the heater without triggering an error. Shown here is how we set all our bypass valves. Once powered on, the fan will start running and the system will begin to pull heat from the air to warm the pool water, so you'll feel a cool breeze coming from the heat pump once it's up and running.
Alright, we just started it up. Starting at 70 degrees, we're going to try to get a target of, how about, we do 82. That's a good exercising temperature. We'll go there. As you can see, it's 8:52 in the morning. We're going to let it run. We'll come back here and just see how fast this is working to warm up the water. Give you an idea of how fast you're going to warm up your pool. I'll give you some specifics on my pool so you can see how big it is and how fast it's warming up. But there you go. 70 degrees, a little too cold for the swimming, so let's get ourselves a little bit more warm.
When you tap on the screen on the control display, it welcomes you. This is your main menu where you'll find your date and time, the status of your system, the temperature readings of the water going into the heater and the water coming out of the heater, a slider where you can set the target temperature, and then some other buttons down below where you can go to other menus. I found it very easy to read, and the buttons worked very easily by just tapping on the screen. The mode button takes you to this picture here, which has your heating, your cooling, your automatic. Automatic just means it's going to go between heating and cooling, so if you want it to stay on all the time and it's going to heat and cold, it'll go to that temperature you want. You have a boost mode. Now that one I wasn't sure about, so I looked it up, and the boost mode says that the unit's going to run at the maximum capacity so you can heat up your pool as fast as possible. This is great when you're initially starting up the pool, when it's a really cold day, or even on a day where you're just like, I gotta get that pool ready because I'm having a party today, all those kind of things. That's a great mode to put it in, but know that this is going to consume the most energy. If you put it into eco mode, now your unit's going to operate a little bit less power, and it's going to be less noise, and it's going to take a lot longer to heat up, but it's the most effective for economy. So that's why it's called eco, for energy efficient. So if you're at a certain temperature and you're just trying to maintain that temperature, eco mode's the way you want to go. And here's your settings menu where you can set your date and time. That's going to be useful for when you do your timer. Then your temperature, whether you want it in Celsius or Fahrenheit, your language selection, and if you need to restart it back to default, you can do that there as well.
Since I teach and I film a lot of workouts in my pool, having a comfortable pool temperature is really important to me.
Using my new heat pump is going to help me stay active in the water year-round. A cold pool can make it real tough to exercise, so having a reliable heating pump is going to really help keep my workouts consistent. One last thing, make sure you register your unit within 90 days of purchase to activate your warranty. Don't want to forget that.
It wasn't that bad, only about a weekend's worth of work, and we're perfectionists, so it probably could have took less time, but if you have any experience with electrical or plumbing, this would not be too bad of a job for you to do, and it's well worth the benefits of extending your pool season.
I'll keep testing out the AquaStrong HEX075 and share updates on how well it heats and maintains the temperature over time. If you have questions about pool heating or aqua workouts, feel free to drop them in the comments. And if you enjoy pool fitness content, don't forget to subscribe to my AquaFit with Stacy channel for more workouts, pool tips, and ways to stay active in the water. I'll see you real soon in the pool.